Hey everybody, welcome to Always Bored, Never Boring, and my review of issue 64 of Warhammer 40,000 Conquest magazine, the Partworks magazine from Hachette Publishing in association with Games Workshop. This magazine comes out every single week, priced at $7.99, but as a subscriber I get 4 issues once a month in a bundle, and this is the second issue from my current bundle. The aim of the magazine is to introduce people to Warhammer 40,000, the whole universe and the game itself, and each issue you get cover products, normally plastic miniatures, sometimes hobby supplies. For this particular issue we get, rather drearily, a pot of Astrogranite textured paint. This annoys me for 2 reasons. First of all, it annoys me because this is actually the 3rd time that they have provided a pot of Astrogranite paint. And it's just a bit boring. It's not. The whole point of these Partworks magazines is that you're supposed to be excited to get each new issue, and even if people need more Astrogranite paint, I can't imagine there were many people going, I can't wait for issue 64 so I can get some more Astrogranite. Maybe it's just me, but I just think it's a little bit boring. Especially as we're 64 issues into the magazine now. I understand why they give you refills of things. They want to make sure you've always got everything you need. But at the same time, once you're 64 issues in, you really should be able to source your own refills if they run out. You should be able to go to a Games Workshop store or go online or whatever. It feels like it's not necessary to do refills at this stage. The other reason that it annoys me a bit is because it's not very good value for money. And by the way, if you can hear dogs barking in the background, I do apologise. I really wanted to get this video done, and my neighbour has decided to have about 50 dogs around their house this evening for reasons. But anyway, the second thing that annoys me about this is the fact that it's not very good value. Astrogranite retails for $4.75 a pot, and this magazine is $7.99 an issue, so it's just not very good value. And I do understand that sometimes this magazine represents amazing value. Sometimes you get cover products that are worth £20 or more. So then when you've got your cover price of $7.99, that's really good value, and they can't do that every single issue. Some issues have to be down on value a little, but even so, it's not ideal to pay $7.99 for a pot of paint that's worth $4.75. And of course, I know there is value in the magazine itself. There is an inherent value in what this magazine brings. And in these issues, the ones that don't have the same kind of value, they're done to level out the value over the run of the series, so they're not just giving you insane amounts of value. And at the same time, it kind of falls back on the magazine and says, okay, well, the magazine provides the value, it makes up the deficit. So let's have a look at the magazine and see if it can make up for the fact that the cover products are really rather dreary. So, as it says on the cover here, we have Astrogranite refill. There's going to be some fluff on the Sol system, and then it says highlighting your models. I guess we're going to look at highlighting because there's not a lot more they can say about Astrogranite. This is the 3rd time they've provided it, and they've already done all of the painting guides that are going to happen with that. So in our fluff section, we start with a picture of the Sol system. We've got all your favourites in there. Holy Terror, Necromunda, all your favourites, kiddies. A little bit about the planets over here: Terra, Luna, Mars, Titan. And then a section on Chaos Rising. This is a timeline. I find these timelines, there's plenty of information in them, but I just find them a little bit dry. It's not the most interesting way, I think, to learn about the universe. I know that loads of people really like these detailed timelines and plot the events throughout the storied history of the Warhammer 40,000 universe, but for me, timelines are not that exciting. But what is exciting are Tyranids. Tyranids are cool. Tyranids, Tyrannids. Discuss in the comments. A little bit more. Synapse creatures and splinter fleets, and some very cool painted hive beasties. And once again, our brave Ultramarines. They shall know no fear, and it's just as well because, yeah, that's brown trouser time for the Ultramarines. This is cool. I like this. Look, over here we've got some different hive colours. We've got the Hydra, the Kronos, the Ouroboros, Tiamat. Love the Tiamat colour scheme. And the Jormungandungandagargadar. All pronounced accurately for your viewing pleasure. And then randomly we have a bit about drop pods. And here is our little top trumps section. They have an armor rating of 2. Seems a bit low considering they're full of your precious troops. So yeah, a little bit on drop pods. Lots of fluff in this issue. Again, normally the magazine would be fluff section, building section for any new miniatures, then the painting section for the new miniatures, and then a scenario that uses the new miniatures. When you put a pot of paint on the cover of your magazine, you kind of have to fall back on filling it up with a lot more fluff because you're not going to have any building guides, and any painting guides are going to be minimal. So yeah, this is a fluff issue. Here we go, straight into the painting section, and we are looking at layered highlights. We are looking at highlights using Thousand Suns blue and Temple Guard blue over black. Okay. So this is a way of highlighting black using sort of a different blue hues. And it's a technique that I like on some things and not on others. They've used it here on a plague sword, and I like that. It has a suitable ethereal, stark quality that works very well for the type of blade. But it doesn't always work with everything, I've found. Sometimes it's a bit much. I think they're using it down here on the Blight Hauler's teeth and things. I think that's possibly a little bit too much blue. It's not making it look black anymore. It's not like highlighted black, it's like a blue now. But if we look up here on the glass panel for the Foul Blight Spawn, I think that works really nicely. So yeah, it depends. It depends on what it is. Yeah, I mean, it's a matter of personal taste, but I don't think it works quite as well on things like the teeth there. But it does look pretty cool up on here. And on things like the Lord of Contagion's banner there. But there we go. That's actually an advanced technique, because what they're doing there is they're highlighting once with a slightly wider highlight, and then they're highlighting again over the top with a much thinner edge highlight, so you get that that two-tone, slightly glowing look. So yeah, that's actually a little bit more advanced. That's one of the more advanced painting guides that they have included. But then we are into rules and using custom mat setups. That's interesting because so far we've always had scenarios that have laid out the maps for us and told us what mats to use, and now they're giving some rules and general guidance on setting up custom mats using whatever you want. Oh, and even including alternative setups such as putting them long ways or doing this, which I don't like. I'm not a fan of doing things like that, because you get those situations where it's like, if my miniature is over here, can I shoot your miniature here across the gap? You have to kind of work that out. Though it helps with ease of play, the mats don't need to be a symmetrical pattern. You can even add the small map from the training war zone. Just discuss how line of sight and movement work across the gaps. Okay, yes, they at least they are acknowledging that yeah, you need to have some ground rules with your opponent. And then we are into our scenario, destroy the batteries. And again, we've got one of these little tiny campaign mission map things. So it looks like we're going to be playing this mission 4 times. Whoever wins each time, you put their symbol on the map. So you get to make like a little mini campaign. And, oh look, something to cut out and apply to your battle mat. Probably just use a little bit of white tack or something just to hold it in place on the mat. That's what I would do. What have we got? Silence the guns. There are the guns. So you're going to play this 4 times. The battlefield, they haven't actually given you a specific mat. I guess this is because they're now expecting you to use custom mats. So yeah, they're taking the scenarios to that next stage again where there's even less hand holding than there has been. It's now a case of you use what you want. It says, before deployment, both players roll a die. The winner selects one of the battle mats to play on. Set it on the blank side. Place all the power relay objective markers in the location shown above. And then you put your gun in the middle. So that's interesting. It's also interesting, I've just noticed that they use die as the singular of dice. Games Workshop, being a British company, always uses the singular dice. So, yeah. I don't even know why I bothered bringing that up. It's obviously, this isn't Games Workshop writing, this is Hachette Publishing. But, yeah, that just struck me as odd, reading something relating to Games Workshop referring to a die. And then we've got choosing units. This is interesting. Choose 1 from the following permission, and the Death Guard choose 2 from the following permission. So, yeah, it's not even a scenario that's giving you set forces. It's giving you a choice. And the Space Marines are slightly outgunned here, and the Death Guards have to make a choice of what units and which heroes or whatever they're going to put together. So that's now the beginnings of army building. That's the beginnings of making those decisions. It's like, if I put 10 Poxwalkers out, is it better to have 3 Plague Marines to give them a little bit of solidarity, or do I put a hero in play? That's the initial steps of army building. That's really interesting that they're doing that, and they're doing the custom mats. That's definitely advancing scenario and setting up games to the next stage again. So that's cool. And that is actually the end of the magazine. So let's take a quick look at what's coming up next. Next, things pick up somewhat after 2 issues that have not been of particular interest to me, because we are getting some Space Marine heroes, not the blind boxed ones. We're getting 2 Space Marine heroes, Heresy era heroes from Betrayal at Calth. And then in issue 66, we get a Plague Marine with an icon of despair, which is very cool. Very much looking forward to that. It's a cool miniature, and that's good value again. That's 2 really good value issues. Like I say, that's why not every issue is great value, and that's why sometimes you just get a pot of paint, because then in subsequent issues they smash it out the park with the value. So 2 good issues coming. But that is it. I'm going to do my little running total that I always do in these videos. This is the price of subscribing to the magazine every week versus the price of purchasing the cover products from the magazine at full retail price. So not taking into account online discounts, but also not taking into account the value of the magazine and any subscriber gifts. And hopefully some people will find that useful. But that is it from me for now. Thank you very much for watching. If you have liked the video, please consider pressing that like button. If you have really liked the video, please consider subscribing if you don't already do so. And hopefully I will see you all again very soon. Bye bye everyone. Bye bye.